The Hard Rock Enforcers have orders to prevent gangs from accessing the ruins of Magna Leptoris, and after their recent failures they have set up barricades on all the roads. The Adeptus Mechanicus Venator gang, on the other hand, has orders to reach the city at all costs, and after falling behind the other gangs, still push on. The two gangs clash, Enforcers doing everything they can to hold the line while the Admech desperately try to break through. This battle follows the breakthrough scenario, where the attackers must push through the defenders to reach the far side. It becomes a rolling road scenario after reaching the midway point. If the attackers exit the far side of the board, leave the defenders behind, or one gang bottles out, the scenario ends. Here we are with the breakthrough scenario. We have the defenders, a cluster of Paladinite enforcers led by their subjugator captain, with only a vehicle and 3 enforcers on the table. They need to hold the barricade and prevent a breakthrough by the Adeptus Mechanicus Venator gang, who need to escape to reach the city beyond. Rolling for priority. Oh, taken with a 6 by the Adeptus Mechanicus. First thing is an activation by the Admech Walker, who goes full throttle, a double action, moving 12 inches up the table, advancing towards the barricades. So the rider failed his initiative check, falls, took a strength 3 hit, and now has a mesh armor save of 5+. That's actually bad. Makes his armor save, but he is prone in the desert in front of the enforcers. The enforcers activate, and they go with their bolter enforcer, who immediately fires long range at the downed Admech. He did aim, so he needed a 4 to hit at long range, and therefore does not hit. Over here with the Admech, we have a group activation from their leader, and they're all going to double move into cover behind the walls. Next activation comes from Cougar, the Paladinite Sergeant, who uses his skill Fast Shot to take a shot at the downed fighter. He does need a 4 to hit because of the range, successfully hits. He needs a 3 to wound. He successfully wounds. There will be a mesh armor save of 6+ on the downed fighter. And he makes the save. With Fast Shot, he will immediately fire again at him, scoring a hit. It is strength 4, so it needs a 3 to wound. Successfully wounds. There will be another mesh armor save of 6+. Also succeeds, and the Admech continue to survive. Down at the barricade, we have an activation by the vehicle. It's going to move forward 5, turn, and then move forward 5 again, getting in position to flank the enemy. The downed Admech activates, stands up, and then gets back onto the vehicle. That wraps up turn 1. Admech advancing, Paladinite enforcers attempting to flank and trying to hold their barricade against the oncoming Adeptus Mechanicus Venator team. We now go into the priority roll for the enforcers. They got a 4, and for the Adeptus Mechanicus, they got a 3. So priority goes to the enforcers. First activation is dodge. The bolt gun enforcer is immediately going to aim and fire at the walker. It is long range, 4 to hit. He does score a successful hit. Strength 4 versus toughness 4, so he gets a 4 to wound it and fails to wound. Moving on to the Adeptus Mechanicus for their first activation. The Walker will activate for the Adeptus Mechanicus. He's going to move and then conduct a move and shoot. His target being the Enforcers up on the catwalk. He is shooting at Cougar. He is in hard cover, so it'll be a 5 to hit. Does not score a hit, but ammo check is good. Cougar will activate and fire, targeting the vehicle. At this range, he does need a 4 to hit. He successfully hits. It is strength 4, so he needs a 4 to wound. Does not wound. With fast shot, he'll shoot again, scoring a 6 to hit, but again fails to wound. We have a group activation from the Hunt champion and ID 10T. They activate and move out. Next activation is the Enforcer vehicle. Moves forward, does a 90-degree turn, and does another move action, moving up again into position to flank the enemy. So the Adeptus Mechanicus moves up with the remaining activations, and in the reinforcement step, 1 Enforcer model arrives, coming onto the battlefield 1 inch from the side. That's Cage with a bolt gun. End of the turn. We have no bottle checks needed, so we just roll for priority for the next turn. Enforcer's got a 3. And we'll have priority. First activation from the Enforcers will be their vehicle activating, moving forwards 5 with a turn, and then moving forward another 5. Setting up position so that their leader can jump out and maul things. Just one admin note, tank had been hit and knocked prone in the back of the vehicle by this fellow in the end of the last turn. So we have a group activation here from the Adeptus Mechanicus by their leader. Their leader will act first, firing into the truck. He does have fast shot, so the first shot hitting on a 2+. Does hit, but has an ammo check required. Ammo check is passed. Correction, ammo check was not passed. We needed a 6+, but rolling the wound now with the hit, needing a 4 due to toughness 5, strength 5. Fails to wound. He's going to immediately do another ammo check to try and reload. And fails. Also shooting at the truck will be the Hunt champion, firing his plasma rifle, not overcharging, into the front of the truck. He does hit on a 2+, so that's 1 hit. Rolling to wound, he is strength 5 versus toughness 5, so needing a 5, or a 4+ rather, so he does wound. Rolling on the vehicle damage, we'll see where the hit is. It's a hit on the body, and the type of hit is going to be penetrating hit on the darn it. With the penetrating hit, there's a handling check required. Handling check is passed, so the vehicle will not be stationary and stalls. With fast shot, he is taking a second shot at the same target. This time he does not hit. Enforcers activate. They are going to activate their bolt gun enforcer once more, and he is going to fire directly into the walker ahead of him. The Adeptus Mechanicus sends G30RG forward to bravely fire point blank at the truck with his auto pistol.
Do you want to...
Rolling it. He just fails to hit. Over on the flank, we have an activation from a bolt gun enforcer, Cage, who moves up and takes aim and fires at their enemy champion. He's just out of short range, needed a 4 to hit, so nothing.
And then fire.
ID 10T activates and moves forward to fire his template weapon into the vehicle and its passenger. Ammo check is failed, so needing to roll. See if it's out of ammo. He's not out of ammo.
Needed that.
Rolling to wound the vehicle. He needs a 4 plus with strength 5.
Nope.
Failed. Rolling to wound the passenger, needing a 3. And that one succeeds. He is now seriously injured, webbed. Initiative test to see if he falls out. He does indeed fall. With the speed of the vehicle, he has to take a strength 4 hit. Does not. Up top, we have an activation from Cougar, firing a sniper rifle. He is going to target the onrushing vehicle, attempting to try and do some damage. First shot is a fail. He does have fast shots, so he fires again, also failing to hit. The walker activates, moving forward 4 inches. Following up with a move and shoot, moving another 2 inches forward and firing up at Cougar, the sniper. Rolling to hit, he is at close range. He will be hitting on a 3. End of the turn, we have a recovery roll for Tank. Remains down with a serious injury, taking a flesh wound. Additionally, 3 reinforcements arrive for the enforcers, bringing much needed help. No bottle check needed, so we go immediately to rolling for priority. Enforcers got a 6, and the Adeptus Mechanicus get a 2, meaning the enforcers for the 3rd turn in the row have priority. Let's see if it can help them out. Up top, Cougar is going to do a group activation with himself and Dodge. Dodge will stand up and immediately fire his bolt gun down into the onrushing walker. It is close range, so he'll only need a 3 to hit, and he fails to hit. Cougar, exasperated at his subordinate's failure, will take 2 shots into the walker. The first one needing a 4 to hit, and does score a hit. It is strength 4 versus toughness 4. He successfully wounds the vehicle, finally doing some damage. So the walker does have a 5-up save normally. AP -1 makes it a 6-up save, and it does not save. Determining where the hit is, hit location is on the crew, and the crew takes a penetrating hit. With marksman, he fires again at the vehicle, this time missing. So an activation from the AdMech champion, he is going to fire initially at the vehicle, trying to stop it from running their people down. Ammo check too. Hitting on a 2, he does hit. It is strength 5 versus toughness 5, so he needs a 4 to wound. He does wound. It punches right through the vehicle's armor. So rolling on the vehicle hit location. It is on the body again, and it is a very bad hit. So the vehicle loses 2 hull points and immediately makes a loss of control test, which is failed. Rolling to see what happens. We have a jackknife. It turns immediately 90 degrees to the right. Seeing as the vehicle had already received 1 hull point of damage and just took another 2, it is wrecked. Vehicle lasting damage ends up with a 3, which is unreliable. And for the crew, they get a 31, which is convalescence. On the flank, we have an activation as Cage activates and moves forward 4 inches. He'll then fire at the exposed champion, trying to put him down. Taking his shot, he does score 3 hits. Pass me 2 more d6. These are strength 4, toughness 3, scoring 2 wounds, and murdering the vehicle process. So he has Carapace armor light, which means his 4-up save goes to a 5-up save against the bolter. Fails both saves. The first bolt round does 2 damage, taking him to 0, and then the second bolt round does 2 injury die, doing out of action, taking down the plasma gunner. Lasting injury table, he takes a 42, meaning he is partially deafened and his leadership is permanently reduced by 1. If he suffers another one. Doing a nerve test immediately for his boss, who is right next to him as he goes down. 2d6 on his cool save, he's fine. And then he takes his nerve check to see if he panics from the loss of his friend. Passes on a cool of 6+. So the AdMech leader activates Lucky Find and reloads successfully, and with his second action will fire at the Enforcer Cage, who just downed his friend. With the range, he hits on a 3 and successfully hits twice. 2 strength 5 hits against toughness 3, needing 3s to wound. 2 wounds. AP is 1. With the Enforcer body armor, he's
AP
going
0.
Oh, okay. With the Enforcer body armor, he has a 5+ save. Makes 1, fails 1. He only has 1 wound, so an injury die will be rolled. And he takes a flesh wound. As he was hit twice, or doing 2 blaze checks to see if he was lit on fire. He is not set ablaze. We have an activation here by the Enforcers as Jensen with the shotgun moves up 4. Doesn't have range on anyone and moves up an additional 4, hoping to get in position to use the shotgun. So the AdMech Walker activates, does an aim, and then a move and shoot, moving just 2 inches forward so that it can fire up into the Enforcers on the catwalk. Needing a 4+, the Walker fails to hit. The Enforcers on the flank are going to activate first 1, moving up 4, and then firing at the Walker, trying to prevent its escape. Needing a 4 to hit because of range, successfully hits. Side toughness is 4, so needing a 4 to wound. Does wound. The Walker will get normally a 5+ save, but gets a 6+ save.
Oh, that's not the right.
And rolls an ammo check. Does not save. This does 2 damage, so 2 vehicle damage will be rolled. That's wrong. We have a hit to a body, a second hit to a body. Both hits to the body. We have a catastrophic hit to the body, destroying a weapon, and we have a penetrating hit to the body, causing 1 whole point of damage and requiring a handling check by the crew to see what happens. Handling check has failed, so the vehicle is immediately stalled. The AdMech rider activates and fires back at the downed subjugator captain, firing his autogun with shock rounds. Ooh. He does not hit. Enforcers have another activation. Enforcer with a bolt gun moves up, not having any good targets. He moves up again, taking cover beyond the edge of the container so that he can open up on the beleaguered AdMech. So we have an activation from G30RG, and he's going to double move, advancing up the field to try and get to the barricades and out of the open. The enforcers are really out of activation, so ID10T is up next.
Also going to do the same.
Also going to move up 8 inches, moving for cover. Enforcers doing a recovery check on their subjugator captain. Remains critically injured. At this point has 2 flesh wounds and is in a bad way. Meanwhile, the vehicle rolls a check. The walker rolls a check to see if the driver succumbs to his injuries. On a 6, he maintains coherence and stays in the game. On a 6, we'll have a failed bottle check from the Adeptus Mechanicus, and they stick around. For the enforcers, they have 1 reinforcement come on, and that is Hasta, armed with 2 auto pistols. Hasta will choose to come in from reinforcements on this flank, hoping to move up and take down that walker. Rolling for priority, enforcers got a 5, again rolling very strong on priority and taking priority. The enforcers having priority, they choose to group activate and focus their fire on this walker, trying to bring it down before it smashes through the barricades. Opening up, aiming with a bolt gun, trying to redeem himself after repeatedly missing, fires and scores 1, failing to hit the walker that is right in front of him. Our sniper choosing to use marksman in the hopes that he can effect some multiple damage, firing, needing a 4 to hit, misses with his first shot, and with the second shot has an ammo check required, which he fails, so he is out of ammo. Not the opening that we were hoping for. The walker passes its handling check and then uses its second action after restarting its engine to advance forward 4 inches, moving under the catwalk and preparing to blast through the barricades. The enforcers activating Jensen, moving forward with his shotgun, and he is going to fire at the rear of the walker. It is long range. He's firing his shotgun. He does need a 5 to hit. And he fails to hit. ID10T will activate and move forward 4 inches, getting in position to web the captain. She immediately fires, hitting him, wounding on a 3, actually wounding on a 2, given the flesh wounds he's taken. Ammo check is good.
Nope.
Fails. Angry at being shot and at the attempt to murder their leader, Cage stands up and fires his bolt gun at the Adeptus Mechanicus leader. Their leader is in hard cover. It is close range, so he will need a 5 to hit. Fails to hit. The AdMech leader activates and double moves, moving up into cover behind the alchemical stack. Wanting in on the action, Tex will double move, moving 8 to get in position to engage the AdMech and cut them off from escape. We have movement forward by G30RG, who turns to shoot at the advancing shotgun auto enforcer. He will require a 3+ to hit. Fails to hit. Bolt gun enforcer takes aim at G30RG, who is out in the open, and opens fire, needing a 3 to hit. He does hit 3 times, needing 3s to wound. Wounds twice with AP -1. G30RG has 2 saves to make on his mesh armor, needing 6s because AP 1. So 1 goes through. He does take 2 flesh wounds, or 2 injury die rather rolled. We have a serious injury and out of action. So G30RG goes down. On the D66 roll, we have a 1, so 10, and a 14. So he emerges with
Basically knocked out.
bitter enmity. He bears a grudge against the gang. So he gains the Berserker trait anytime he fights the enforcers. The rider up on the walker is going to shoot back at the bolt gunner, trying to take him down. It is long range. He will need a 3 to hit. And he successfully hits 3 times, rolling the wound. He has toughness 3 versus strength.
Does he have...
So correction, he has static rounds. Those are not rapid fire, but it is a hit and an auto wound. Armor save is failed. Rolling on the injury die. We have a flesh wound as he goes down. Due to the proximity of him going down, we have a immediate nerve check, which is failed by his companion, who is now broke. Last activation of the round as Hasta moves up twice, coming to close the gap on the enemy.
So where would that be?
So as we look across the battlefield, you can see the Adeptus Mechanicus is being swarmed by the enforcers who are coming at them from all sides. There's nowhere to hide. They are in dire straits indeed. The Adeptus Mechanicus make their bottle check and fail it on a 5+, exceeding their number, and will now have to roll cool saves for all of their characters. Moving first to ID10T. He's cool on a 6+. Moving next to their leader. He is not. Their leader breaks and runs away. Moving now to their rider on top of the walker. He's fine, and to the walker itself. The walker is also fine. So going on the D66 roll, the subjugator captain has succumbed to his injuries. He gets a 65. He is critically injured, and without medical escort, he will die. Seeing it as the enforcers have low credits this juncture, if they do not pull off a victory, they will not have the credits to get him safely to a dock, and he will die. Priority rolls. The walker has moved up to the halfway point and is now rolling roads, so we'll start moving the terrain. And priority forces did not roll well, and the Adeptus Mechanicus have priority for this turn. That may be the break they need to pull out a victory. The Admech activate their crawler, going full throttle, smashing through the barricades and advancing 12 inches up the field. There's an initiative check for the rider on top. He fails. He falls, taking a strength 4 hit due to the speed traveled. It does wound him. He has mesh armor save of 5+. He fails his save. Injury die is rolled, and he just takes a flesh wound. The subjugator sergeant, having come out on the table from the far end, staring down the walker, opens fire immediately with his crack grenade launcher, trying to put down the juggernaut. He has BS4, needing a 5 to hit due to the range. He does hit. It is strength 6 versus toughness 4, so needing a 3. Does wound. It is AP 2, so it cuts through its armor and immediately does 2 vehicle checks. We got a hit to the drive and a hit to the body. The hit to the drive is glancing. The hit to the body is penetrating, dealing 1 more whole point of damage. And requiring an immediate loss of control check on the vehicle. And hits the drive. It is a 6. It is failed. The vehicle will immediately take a loss of control die. Does a 45-degree turn to the left. On another vehicle, that might have been catastrophic, with it preparing to crash into the pipeline, but as he is a walker, he can turn and correct. ID-10T activates and moves forward 4 inches, firing his template up at Cougar in an attempt to prevent both from engaging the walker from behind. Rolling the ammo check first to make sure he doesn't run out of ammo. Just roll it. He's fine. And now first to wound Cougar on a d6, needing a 3. Fails. And then wounding his companion also fails. Both fighters, however, are knocked down and pinned. We're going to do another group activation here as our Palanite Sergeant activates, stands up. We'll also have his companion dodge activate. He will fire into the rear of the walker. They both will, trying to down it before it can escape. The sergeant needs a 4 to hit, fails and has an ammo check. The ammo check is failed. The normal enforcer, hitting on a 3, also fails to hit. So activating over here, he stands up and moves back onto the vehicle in safety. Remaining enforcers all are going to activate. They're all moving up so that they can potentially take shots at the walker before it escapes next turn. Cool checks for the Adeptus Mechanicus. First we have ID-10T. He is fine. Then we have the walker. Also fine. And lastly the rider. The rider barely hangs in there, but the Adeptus Mechanicus hold on, which puts the enforcers in a bad situation as they try to stop that walker. And a roll off for priority. The enforcers get a 4, and the Admech get a 3, so enforcers have priority. So the Subjugator Sergeant Pooch levels his crack grenade launcher and fires, hoping to bring down the behemoth with an aim shot. He does score a hit. Strength is 6, needing a 3 to wound. He does wound. It cuts through the vehicle's armor. 2 hits are rolled for the location, getting a hit to the body and a hit to the drive. Hit to the body is a catastrophic hit, dealing the last damage to the vehicle, and the hit to the drive is penetrating, also dealing a whole point of damage to the vehicle. The walker is brought down, and with that, the Adeptus Mechanicus withdraw back into the wastes, defeated. This battle went back and forth early on, with the AdMech taking down the Enforcer Captain and their vehicle so quickly. In the end, sheer numbers of the Enforcers and the slow speed of the AdMech's walker enabled the Enforcers to overwhelm the AdMech. The game really came down to that final shot from the Subjugator Sergeant Pooch. If he hadn't taken down the walker, it likely would have run him down and then escaped the board. The AdMech had some unfortunate dice rolls, but their MVP was definitely ID-10T, who took down the Subjugator Captain, Tank, who had no manner of luck in this game. The web pistol worked well to lock that captain down, bypassing his armor and shield and taking him out of the fight early on. For the Enforcers, the Subjugator Sergeant Pooch was undoubtedly their MVP. His shot took down the enemy walker and shut down the AdMech, forcing them to bottle out after the loss of their vehicle. That's all for this battle. Be sure to check out the other bat reps if you haven't already. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.